Hello everybody, this is Roberto Parker with Innovative Sports Training again. It's time for another Health Detective series. Today I'm going to talk about something that's very near and dear to me now. About 35 years ago, I started out my journey as a strength and conditioning, health and fitness trainer, as a strength and conditioning coach for a major university, Oklahoma State University and Fresno State University. Go Bulldogs, go Cowboys. However, at that time, I was in charge mainly of working with highly collegiate NCAA competitive athletes. It was a fun job to do. Trust me, I loved every minute of it. I eventually evolved into my own business, where I now work with young athletes, primarily high school, middle school athletes, some collegiate athletes, some professional athletes, but mainly middle school, high school athletes. I also work with adults who are not, as we say, competitive athletes, but they want to improve their health. But the point of this topic is this today, this lecture today. All of us are athletes. Now, some of you may not think of yourselves as an athlete. Some of you may not even like sports, but we are all athletes. And I'm going to go back thousands of years ago to when human beings lived where? Out in the wild, in the wilderness. We had to fight, scratch, claw, hunt, fish every day to survive. Because if we didn't have that athletic instincts, those athletic abilities, we wouldn't have made it. We would have died. Some wild animal would have eaten us for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We had to hunt down prey. We were nomadic. We had to go from one end of the globe to the next, wandering in different tribes and different groups and communities. So we are all athletes. We have the same genome as our ancient forefathers did thousands of years ago, believe it or not. We're not that different. The only difference is today, culturally we're different. We all have coats and ties, we all have nice homes, we all have big screen TVs, especially in this Western industrialized world that we live in. But my point is this: we are all athletes, and I put those into three categories. Number one, occupational athlete. An occupational athlete is anybody who goes to work every day, and just by virtue of their job, they've got to be athletic. It could be a construction worker. It could be a roofer. It could be a working heavy-duty machinery. And those are occupational athletes. Sitting at your desk, I'm not going to say it's necessarily athletic, but it does take a degree of organizational skills. You got to have some mental alertness. So yes, I still consider that athletic. You're just not as physically athletic, which, by the way, I don't recommend sitting all day. But all of us, in somehow or another, are occupational athletes. Number two, the second category are recreational athletes. Now, this is someone who goes to the gym on a frequent basis. Maybe they compete in some adventure runs, maybe a triathlon, maybe they're in a competitive volleyball or basketball or soccer league, maybe some sort of an adult league, but they are recreational athletes. I consider little kids who play Little League sports recreational athletes. The third category are competitive athletes. Now, a competitive athlete, you're stepping up your game a little bit. You practice 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times a week. You have games 2 or 3 times a week. The competition is stiffer. The training is more aggressive, more time intensive. You are a competitive athlete. I would consider the average high school athlete, a varsity athlete, an NCAA collegiate athlete, a professional athlete, an Olympic athlete. Those are all highly competitive athletes. Now, in a few days, we're going to be having the Winter Olympics. I've already seen commercials and I've seen some YouTube videos on how some of the athletes train, and I'm going to tell you, it is amazing the hours that they have to put in. Now, the average Joe on the street, it's not going to work that way. I understand that. But that's what it takes to get that gold medal, or to win the national championship, or your collegiate championship, or your state championship. That's what it takes. You got to put in the hours. A recreational athlete doesn't have to put in quite as many hours. An occupational athlete mainly does it because they're making a living doing it. But the point of this is this, guys. We are all athletes, and you must take care of yourself physically. Stability, mobility, your endurance, your strength levels, we all must work on those areas. Now later in the future I'll go into more on exercise and the specifics of exercise and what it takes to exercise in order to obtain optimal health and fitness. But all of you out there should be active some way or somehow. I did a presentation just a few days ago on that, as a matter of fact, activity versus exercise. Everybody should be active. You should at least be an occupational to a recreational athlete in somehow. Now, a competitive athlete, that's different. That's someone, like I said, who really is competitive, who really likes working out, who really enjoys sports, who really enjoys competition. That's not necessarily all of us. Guys, I hope this has been helpful to you. Stay tuned for more in the future. This is Roberto Parker with Innovative Sports Training. This has been another Health Detective series. Take care and God bless.